Tom's gonna take off and feel better, I hope.
You want
Would
to
you want me to
hang out
It's up to you, Tom.
on the bond?
It's part of, no. It's part of the consent agenda.
Where is it? I don't see it. Where is it?
It was added. All right.
Hey, can you tell me where that's added on the consent agenda?
Live stream.
I think with Mark DeGennaro. I'm sure it's added, but I just don't see it. Tell me where it is. My comment that's in it?
Hey, Bob.
I probably don't need to see it, but it's not in my.
It's number 245, is it not on the consent agenda? Is it not on your agenda?
Well, I don't know, I have last Friday's agenda.
I thought we only added it today.
We added that. Nancy, that was the sewer agreement.
Yes, it's not added on the
Yeah, but-
physical
I
copy
don't
I
have it on my
have.
paper copy.
Because I don't have it either.
Okay, but we're adding it.
We're adding it,
What's the
yes.
number, Nancy? Just
245,
245, okay.
Okay, so I won't comment.
authorized
I
private
don't think so.
extension.
No, you don't need
I
to.
would have commented.
21,245, okay.
We connected?
Yes, but I have to copy to the website yet.
Okay.
Microphone back on. Back on.
Thanks for your advice on that, Floyd. Because, I mean, you know all that stuff. So.
No, I do. I mean, I've been doing that for 20-some years.
I know.
Okay, our link is live.
I do have to.
We're ready when you are,
I do have
Mr.
to.
Boonstra.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, but it wasn't on the paper agenda.
Yeah, I just found
Okay.
it.
The regular business meeting of the Wyckoff Township Committee is now in session. If everyone will rise for a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay standing. I'll give a brief prayer. Our Lord in heaven, we come before you once again and ask you for your guidance and your blessings. We ask in particular that you watch over members of our extended town hall family who may be sick and not feeling well and have other health problems, that you guide them back to full health and give them happiness. Now we ask that you deliberate over or watch over our deliberations tonight and give us wisdom. In your name, amen.
This regular business meeting of the Township Committee of the Township of Wyckoff is now in session. In accordance with Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, I wish to advise that notice of this meeting has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall and on our Township Committee website page. A copy has been filed with the Township Clerk, and copies were emailed to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and to the North Jersey Herald and News, all newspapers with general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers. We have a roll call. Mr. Boonstra?
Here.
Mr. Madigan?
Here.
Mr. Melchiong?
Here.
And Mr. Shanley?
Here. I'll take a motion to open the meeting for public comment, 5 minutes per speaker. From the public for any comment on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of Wyckoff.
So move. Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
If anyone wants to call in, 201-891-7000, extension 2220, if you wish to make a comment, or if you want to address the Township Committee in person, now is your opportunity.
Hearing no one calling in and hearing no one in the courtroom, I move to close the public comment section.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
I'll take a motion to approve the June 15th, 2021 Township Committee work session and regular business meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
And Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
All right, we have 2 ordinances for adoption for tonight. Nancy?
I have 2 ordinances for public hearing further consideration tonight. The first is ordinance number 1940, an ordinance to provide a certain capital improvement in the Township of Wykoff and to provide for the receipt, acceptance, and deposit of grant funds therefore, and to authorize appropriations of $52,988 for second reading by title only, and a copy of this ordinance has been posted on the bulletin board in Town Hall, where public notices are customarily posted, and copies have been made available to members of the general public of the township who have requested the same.
I move the ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
This is the time and place for the public hearing on ordinance number 1940. And all persons who wish to be heard, please state your name and address before making your statement. Or if you wish to comment by phone, please dial 201-891-7000, extension 2220.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to place on the record that the township has received notice from the New Jersey Department of Law, Office of Attorney General, that a grant for this purchase of $52,988 has been offered to the municipality, and the Wykoff Police Chief recommends the adoption of this ordinance.
Thank you, Bob. Any additional comments?
Hearing no one, I move that the public hearing on ordinance 1940 be closed.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Wykoff that ordinance number 1940, after public hearing and further consideration, is hereby adopted, and the municipal clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the notice of final passage of said ordinance in the official newspaper for the township as provided by law. The second ordinance is number 1941, which is an ordinance amending chapter...
We're missing something here.
Yeah, we are.
We need to move the
I have to
resolution.
move the.
Oh, I don't know how that got cut
Yeah, it's
off.
cut off.
Yeah.
I move the resolution.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Tim.
I second it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies.
No, it's okay. We're good. We
I
know
got
the
my
rule.
pages out of there. I didn't. Ordinance 1941, an ordinance amending Chapter 186 zoning, Section 186-22, regulations applying to all zones of the Code of the Township of Wykoff to prohibit the operation of any class of cannabis business within the Township of Wykoff, for second reading by title only. And a copy of this ordinance has been posted on the bulletin board in Town Hall, where public notices are customarily posted, and copies have been made available to members of the general public of the township who have requested the same.
I move the ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second it.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
This is the time and place for public hearing on ordinance 1941. All persons who wish to be heard, please state your name and address before making your statement. If you wish to comment by phone, please dial 201-891-7000, extension 2220.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to place on the record, we have received a letter from Maureen Mitchell, Planning Board Secretary, to Nancy Cole, Municipal Clerk. Ordinance 1941 was reviewed by the Planning Board and approved by unanimous vote of 6 yeas and 0 noes at the July 14th, 2021 Planning Board meeting. Though, Nancy, I'll give that to you to enter on the record.
Thank you.
So you have a second bite at the apple if you want to take it.
No, just, can I ask a question?
This is the public hearing.
Yeah, it's public hearing, yes.
Okay, just, I mean,
So
that...
you need to state your name and address.
Okay, sorry. Rich Rosfeld, 326 Wyndham Court.
Okay.
Just, I got a copy of the ordinance, and I was just curious. That is obviously banning all 6 licenses to include retail. I I believe, if I read it correctly.
I believe that's the case.
That is correct.
Okay. That was my only question. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Yeah. and
Thank you. Thanks for attending.
And I just want to state on the record that I am going to support this ordinance because the state hasn't given us any guidance on what is going to happen with their commission that they set up regarding regulation of cannabis. And they're making us do this, or we are prohibited from banning it and it's automatically accepted. It doesn't mean we can't at a later date agree to accept one of those types of cannabis businesses in this town. So that is all I have to say on that.
Thank you, Tim.
Hearing no one else, I move that the public hearing on ordinance 1941 be closed.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong? Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Wykoff that ordinance number 1941, after public hearing and further consideration, is hereby adopted, and the municipal clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the notice of final passage of said ordinance in the official newspaper for the township as provided by law.
I move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And that's where our other section went.
There it is. Oh, you're right. There it is.
Yeah. We needed them both
I
ordinances.
apologize.
That's all right.
We'll
We
move
know
on
the drill, though.
to
We
the-
all knew there was something wrong.
Consent agenda. All matters listed below are considered by the Township Committee to be routine in nature. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If any discussion is desired by the Township Committee, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We have several resolutions. Number 232, return of landscape performance cash surety, 376 Carriage Lane, Block 324, Lot 9. 233, return of sewer performance cash surety, 515 Wykoff Avenue, Block 314, Lot 54. 234, return of sewer performance cash surety, 371 Markham Road, Block 316, Lot 25. Number 235, return of sewer performance cash surety, 474 Ivy Lane, Block 422, Lot 8. Number 236, authorize signing of civil rights compliance for American Rescue Plan funds application. Number 237, authorize municipal representatives to Bergen County Community Development Regional Committee for fiscal year 2021 to 2022. Number 238, approval of vouchers and authorization to pay bills. Number 239, award of contract pay-to-play compliance for Jan Fence. Number 240, memorialized authorization for grant application for police body-worn cameras. Number 241, return of certain overpaid taxes, etc. Number 242, authorized purchase with grant funds from State of New Jersey pricing system contract, police officer body-worn cameras. Number 243, authorized 3-year renewal of membership in Bergen County Joint Insurance Fund Consortium. Number 244, authorized participation in State of New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety grant program. Number 245, authorized private extension of sewer main to 359 Sycamac Avenue. And number 21-C4, closed session pending litigation. We have quite a few ordinances for introduction tonight also. Ordinance number 1942, an ordinance to provide a certain capital improvement in the Township of Wykoff and to provide for and authorize appropriations of $594,000 from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund for the court-ordered 33-unit housing rehabilitation obligation. Ordinance 1943, an ordinance to modify and supplement Chapter 108 of the Code of the Township of Wykoff, Construction Codes Uniform, to amend Section 108-3, Fee Schedule, to increase certain fees for Uniform Construction Code permits. Ordinance number 1944, an ordinance to amend Chapter 113 of the Code of the Township of Wykoff, Fees. Ordinance number 1945, an ordinance to modify Chapter 148, Peddling and Soliciting in the Code of the Township of Wykoff, to modify Section 148-9, License Fees, to increase fees. Ordinance number 1946, an ordinance to amend Chapter 94, Buildings Inspection of, in the Code of the Township of Wykoff to amend Section 94-5, Fees, to increase certain fees. Ordinance number 1947, an ordinance to amend Chapter 116, Fire Prevention Administration of the Code of the Township of Wykoff, Section 116-7, Non-Life Hazard Fees, and 116-8, Permit Fees, to provide a new and increased fee schedule. We also have several motions. The first is to approve and memorialize the application of Ryan Williman as a junior firefighter with company number 2 effective July 20th, 2021. Approve and memorialize the application of Samuel Lynn to to the fire desk with company number 1 effective July 20th, 2021. Approve St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church request to post temporary signs and hold an indoor flea market fundraiser at 474 Grandview Avenue, Wykoff, for 3 specific August weekends. Approve Provident Bank's request to hold a customer appreciation event on September 14th, 2021, which includes the installation of 2 temporary tents in their parking lot. To approve specifications and authorize advertised sealed competitive bidding for semi-annual right-of-way shade tree service. And to approve additional days of temporary signs and tent use, July 22nd to 28th, 2021, at Eastern Christian Middle School for the Midland Park Gospel Hall Camp due to weather cancellations.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchior?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr.
We
Boonstra?
are adjourned.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchior? And
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
All right.
Nancy, you let me know when.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
Bye now.
All right, Tom, thank you. Take care. Feel better.